Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I'm going to talk about comfort items. And yeah, before we start, if you're interested in detective stories, this is the first part of an 11-part series that I wrote. It's called Bloody Crosses. If you're interested, look down the description. So, comfort items. Why would you need comfort items? Because, yeah, you got, imagine you're a prepper, you got everything. Yeah, you survive, but you do not live, and that's kind of annoying in a way. But in a long-term situation, that could turn into very high stress situations. Perhaps you can get a burnout, some sort of burnout, stress, and yeah, especially it depends only highly on other people. Okay, damn it. Some people, most preppers are accepting that bad things are happening, that there's a crisis situation or a certain scenario. They are mentally already, before it even happens, a little bit accepting, preparing mentally for it. But a lot of people are not prepared, and especially not mentally. They will have to do a certain adaptation, a certain mental gymnastic to get through hard times. So if you, I would advise not only as a prepper for your own, but also for other people that you will take in your preps, your children, your partner, family, friends, perhaps some neighbors. I would advise to get a certain amount of comfort items. What can these comfort items exist out of? Well, I would say and the first things are something that you can always reuse in a way or pass to the next person if they are starting to feel a little bit cabin feverish, to say. So what can you get? I would say just the first things, fun and games. I would say a book. In ironically, perhaps one of my books can help you through the apocalypse, so look into the description. Just a book to keep your mind occupied, to escape a little bit reality as escapism. Little games, board games, card games, perhaps little games like a Rubik's Cube, which in my how do you say this? I know there is a certain system behind it, but I tried to figure it out myself, and that will take a long time. So yeah, such little games could help a lot. The next thing I would say are more spiritual items that could be comforting. For some people, it could be the Bible, the Quran, or some other philosophical works that will keep your mentally spirit a little bit high. That you get that. How do you say this? Yeah, I do not how to explain this in English, but it's the to keep your spirits up, to say. So yeah, something like that could very much help. Another thing I would say, this is especially if you lost somebody, or if you are separated during an evacuation. I don't know. A picture of you and your girlfriend could help much. It's some sort of comforting item, especially if the person lost someone. So, like when a child was separated from the parents, or the father is off to war, or I don't know what, a picture of that certain family member or friend could help a lot. So I would advise, if you got family members, friends, partner, children, try to take pictures with one of those Polaroids, and that way you will always have something physical to look at. That you're not dependent on only the Instagram pictures, or pictures on your smartphone or computer that you need electricity for, because electricity is not always available in any scenario. So I would advise to get a Polaroid picture as a something physical object to get comfort out. Um, Another thing that could be comforting and also handy is, I would say, alcohol. But this is kind of dangerous, especially if there are family members, persons, or other persons that have a history of substance abuse. But for just a regular user or the social drinker like me, this could be something very handy in a long term begin scenario, where you can make it something to bond with other people's, like your neighbors, when you are planning the long term survival situation, or as something as you to look forward to, like at the end of the week we'll meet with with the neighbors or friends place, and you drink something strong like a whiskey. I would suggest to get something strong and not just. I would not advise licorice, liquor, and I don't know, this is cream liquor and beer, because those things will spoil faster unless you can make it yourself. Look into my video on how to make alcohol. But strong alcohol is multifunctional in this way. You can use it to barter. You can use it to disinfect, to start a fire, and just for relaxation. So a strong liquor, a strong booze could help in a long-term survival situation, and it will last longer than something like beer or something that will go down very easily. So yeah, that's also a good comforting item. Many people would say coffee, but I see coffee more as a way to get energy in. But tea, on the other hand, tea could be something very relaxation. So put your tea in vacuum bags, and that way you can store them much longer. And tea could be one of those items that you can drink with other people during high stress situations to get them a little bit calmer. Something before you go to sleep, something you can just have some tea time like in England, and that could be very, very soothing in a way. Just something to look forward to. A tea a day, and with tea you can get a lot of tea with one of those bags like a pot, and that way you can entertain and comfort multiple people at the same time. So that's also a very good comforting item. Other things are like things like chocolate, candy, and these are especially good for children because in or young people in because their brains are more, how do you say this, prone to this kind of comfort. And yeah, it's a good system of reward, comforting, and something to look forward to. And like you can say, at the end of the week, it's chocolate or chocolate milk or just chocolate or candy time. And that way, yeah, that could relieve some stress, especially from younger people, especially children, and it can give them something to look forward to. Because children are more object permanent; they do not think that far ahead, unlike adults. So that could be something for the child to keep occupied. Like, oh, over 2 days it's candy day. That could be helping in very hard times. So I would say get some hard candy, some black chocolate, because black chocolate lasts longer. Do not take the milk chocolate because of the dairy in it. It will not last that long. I would say get candy that that you can store for a very, very long time, that will not start to mold, and also keep it in good conditions. Another thing that could be are something like potato chips. This is also something comforting, and yeah, the same thing as with the candy, but yeah, like this is something that you cannot store that long, or will be very dangerous to eat very quickly. But in short-term situations, this could be very handy as a sort of comforting food. Yeah, but these are more a little bit perhaps more expensive for and take up more volume. But I would say get some chips. Who doesn't like chips? And as a last part, but I would not recommend it, but I have been in situations where there was stress, and some of the persons that I was with, they were hardcore smokers, and there is a certain thing that people who are addicted or prone to smoking, they when they get in a high stress situation, or they have not been with their tobacco for a long time, they will get some nicotine flashes. And yeah, that person will get very quickly irritated, will take bad decisions, and will just be a dickhead until they got their fix. So for those people, I would say get some cigarettes. I would advise, which is a little bit cheaper, something to get a box of tobacco. This will last for a very, very long time. Get some paper to roll in it, or improvise something, and that way, yeah, you can give them their fix without their problems. But for some people, smoking is not really a substance abuse uh, item, but also a comforting item in the case of something like how do you say this? Something like this, like cigars. That could be comforting for some people. Just something at the end of the week. And smoking, by the way, if you didn't know yet, newsflash, smoking is very bad. But for some people, it could be something like with the alcohol, some bonding middle. You go relax on the porch and smoke a cigar. I would advise a cigar before, how do you say this? Yeah, for people who have substance abuse, tobacco for cigarettes is perhaps better for their direct fix, but it's not really comforting. But for a comfort, I would say cigars. Why cigars? Cigars is not something that you inhale, so there's less chance for lung damage because cigars is something that you keep in your mouth. So that's something that you do not inhale. So that could also, like the alcohol, be a some type of social bonding measurement. So yeah, for the people who would like to do it, I only keep these cigars and tobacco for those those people who cannot stay off it or as a bartering item. So yeah, those are things you can do as all as comfort items. If you have any other idea for comfort items, please let me know in the description. How do you say this, in the reactions? I'm always eager to learn. If you have experience or have you know some other tricks or hacks or some other items that you can use for comforting or to make it more effective, let me know in the comments. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and look in the description for my book if you are afraid that you will have nothing to read for the for the apocalypse. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Cheers.